when I was living in England, it seems like such a long time ago now, I'd started to realise I had a big weakness in sport climbing, and I was trying to do something about it. But no matter what I tried, no matter what I could think about, nothing seemed to work. I was never progressing. And to be honest, after a while I started to believe, maybe my body's just not made for sport climbing. But when you apply a structured scientific training program and give it the time to work, your body is just like everybody else out there, and you'll start to see results. It's impossible not to. One great exercise for training continuous long endurance is doubles. And simply put, this is taking a route and climbing it 2 times. There are a few things that you need to remember. You should choose a route to suit your level, and this should be perhaps 1 grade below your maximum on-site level indoors. Let's say you on-site 7B, try doubles in 7As. You hear a lot of different advice on whether climbing down is good. For me, I avoid climbing down wherever possible. When you're training, you want the exercise to mimic the sport as naturally as possible. Okay. And climbing down is not something that we do very often. Okay, down. So when I make doubles, I climb to the top of the route, I lower off as quick as possible. As soon as you hit the floor, you run to the start, get back on the wall, just take a few random holds. You don't necessarily need to be moving, but just to maintain the pump while your belayer pulls the rope through, puts you on belay, and you can start again. The eventual goal is that you can just about make the top of the second try, if not falling in the final section of the route. And you should be ending up with a very, very big, deep pump, one that's going to take you quite a while to recover from. During your session, perhaps do 3 or maybe 4 of these, but you're going to have to take a long rest between repetitions because it's very, very physically exhausting for the body. Also, you need to choose routes that suit the exercise quite well. There should be no boulder problems, there should be no real specific cruxes. It should be just boom, 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 pretty continuous all the way. You should be having as little pressure through your entire body as possible, especially the fingers, the biceps and the shoulders. Almost to the point that sometimes you'll slip off the route because you don't have the right amount of pressure through the hold. And this is actually a good thing. This is something that you should aim for, and something I had really a lot of trouble getting my head around in the beginning. The next thing is breathing. Your breathing wants to be continuous and regular. And as well as giving your body lots of oxygen, it's very good for just calming the mind down. And so as you're climbing, within each movement, maybe 1 or 2 moves, you're taking a nice big breath in, a nice big breath out, really focusing on trying to relax everything as much as possible, the least amount of pressure through your body. And another good advantage of this is you're now no longer focused on the actual route. You're no longer worried about being scared above the bolts, or whether you're going to be able to red point the thing, or if you're more tired than you were on your last try, if it's harder than before. Everything disappears. When you really focus internally on how the body is working, then everything else ceases to be important. If for whatever reason you're not able to do this doubles training on a lead wall, it is possible to train continuous endurance in the Boulder gym just as effectively. The best exercise for this is to choose a problem that you can climb reasonably comfortably 3 times in a row. You climb the boulder, you take any holds on the wall and climb back down. You make this section as easy as possible because it's not for the movements you're training here. When you get to the bottom of the boulder, you stay on a jug, you rest and recover on this jug, and then you start the boulder again. This is a slightly different type of endurance. It's not continuous endurance, but more repeated boulder endurance. But it's equally as valid and equally as important to train. If possible, you should try to find a partner for your training sessions, someone with a similar level, with similar goals and motivations. This will make everything so much easier. There's nothing like watching your mate do an extra lap to make you dig that little bit deeper.
Ready for the intensity to change.
And the actual gym that you're training can make a big difference between a poor session or a fantastic one. Sometimes it's worth travelling that little bit of extra distance, maybe adding 15 minutes to your journey, a few extra miles, to train somewhere really, really good. How is that?